Meet Diesel. Diesel is a 62-kilogram Roddy, and he's in for dissecting with me today. He's just over 1 year old, and he is owned by one of my wonderful nurses, Katerina.
I think I lowered your anaesthetic dose, isn't it?
Diesel is receiving his induction agent. That is a medication that sends him from being awake to being asleep and under the anaesthetic. After he's received enough of the induction agent, I'm able to place an endotracheal tube down into his trachea to maintain control of his airways. I use the light to make it easier to see what I'm doing, and sometimes in smaller patients I'll actually use a laryngoscope. But for him, the surgical light is strong enough. We tie the tube in place so that it doesn't slip while he's asleep under the anaesthetic, and then we're ready to attach him to the anaesthetic machine once we can move him closer to it.
Alright, let's get our cradle. Is anything too big for the cradle? Do we need the mega cradle? There is a big cradle.
I think he might be big.
With a bit of fiddling around and quite a bit of muscle, we managed to get Diesel into the cradle, and then it's a matter of bending at the knees and lifting him over to the anaesthetic table.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, okay. Go sideways a bit. Yeah, you pop your end down. Pop this up. Just pop them on.
Veterinary nurse Poppy is attaching him to our anaesthetic machine. So that's providing him with the anaesthetic gas that he'll be breathing in that will keep him asleep under the anaesthetic. The induction agent I gave him would only last for 5 minutes, so if he wasn't receiving the anaesthetic gas, he would wake up pretty quickly. Right, now that Diesel is up on the table, the girls are checking his anaesthetic depth. They're making sure that his ET tube cuff is blown up so that there's no anaesthetic gas leaking. And we're just checking it's all okay to go ahead with his castrate. After a quick clip and surgical prep, we're ready to move into theatre for Diesel's castrate procedure. You'll see the red blanket laying over the top of him. That's called a bear hugger. It's blowing warm air through it to keep him warm while he's asleep under the anaesthetic. And Poppy again is attaching monitoring equipment.
Oh, I might need to make my incision bigger. No, I don't.
Oh, it's like Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yes.
But different.
So I'm performing a closed castrate on Diesel, and that's to try and reduce the risk of bleeding into his scrotum post-operatively. So now that I've tied off all the major blood vessels, I'm able to remove the testicle.
Okay. Thank you. And we have completed the castrate. I've done intradermal stitches because he's a bit nuts and I don't think we were going to be able to get his stitches out. So, all done.
Look at his face. Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
So Diesel had a really smooth recovery from his anaesthetic. He got lots of cuddles with his mum cat during his recovery. And well, there's no more hump days in the future for young Diesel.